My sister had an affair with my boyfriend, and I sent her a brutally harsh message that I have no regrets about. A few days ago, I, 25F, discovered that my sister, 24F, has been having an affair with my boyfriend, now ex, 25M, whom I dated for 3 years, for at least a year, possibly longer. They always had a close relationship, which I naively assumed was innocent. I don't enjoy video games, but my sister does, so they frequently texted each other. I thought they were discussing games until I uncovered that their conversations were actually about their secret dates while I was busy with work and college. I found incriminating pictures, videos, and other disturbing content in their chats. My sister seemed to derive pleasure from constantly asking my ex if she was smarter or prettier than me. She even compared our private parts, which was utterly shocking. Both of us are attractive. She's thinner and perhaps prettier than me. Despite being an introvert, she has her own group of friends. Our parents never compared us, so I can't fathom where her venom towards me originated. She was the one initiating these comparisons in their conversations. The first thing I did was throw all of my ex-boyfriend's belongings out of the apartment. I insulted him in every way imaginable and kept the PC I had gifted him for Christmas. I didn't speak to my sister for over a week, and she didn't reach out to me either, displaying her cowardice. Yesterday, she finally sent me a message trying to justify her actions by calling it a mistake that lasted over a year, and pleading for forgiveness because we are sisters. For a moment, I considered being the mature one and not letting resentment control me, but then I realized that I've never been that kind of person. I took my phone and wrote a lengthy message to my sister, which I'd love to share here, but it would likely violate the rules due to its explicit content. I called her out in every possible way, highlighting personal issues and telling her how much of a failure she is and how she's always envied me. I explained that she needed to feel what it's like to be me for just a second of her miserable life. She responded with a voice message, crying and claiming she's in a mentally weak state, yet she's still with him, ironically, and that I shouldn't make her feel worse. She expressed regret, but I simply reacted with an emoji and didn't even listen to her entire message. Was it harsh to attack her by pointing out all her flaws? Yes, but betraying your sister and expecting forgiveness just because you share blood is far worse. Honestly, sending that message felt therapeutic and provided closure for me. I've never used a PC for gaming before, but now I'm looking up YouTube tutorials on how to download The Sims. I've always supported my sister throughout her life, fighting for her when she was bullied in high school, helping her make friends countless times, and accompanying her wherever she wanted to go. This betrayal cuts deeply, and I will never forgive it. It hurts that she slept with someone I loved, but it hurts even more to read how she enjoyed making him compare me to her, or asking personal questions about our relationship just to mock it. She's dead to me now, and my parents are aware of this. I don't care if this makes me a bad person like them. This is something I cannot forgive, and I don't feel any remorse for my reaction. Comments. Commenter. At least your ex revealed his true colors as a piece of trash before you two got married. Now, you have the chance to find someone who genuinely appreciates and values you. If you ask me, that sounds like an upgrade. Ooey PP. To be honest, the relationship was already deteriorating in several ways, although that doesn't justify his actions, so I don't feel too bad about breaking up. Essentially, I took out the trash. Commenter. There is never an excuse to cheat, even if the relationship is going bad. If he had any respect for you as a person, he would have ended the relationship instead of being unfaithful. Good riddance to him. People often say, how you lose them is how you got them. So it wouldn't be surprising if one day she comes crying to you about him cheating on her. Commenter. Good for you. A perpetrator only becomes a victim if they choose to. It is important to inform your parents about the situation to prevent her from playing the victim and trying to blame you further. This way, you can protect yourself from any additional manipulation or false accusations she might attempt. OOP. Thank you. My parents are already fully aware of the entire situation. They are not siding with her, and they understand and respect my decision to cut off all contact with my sister. Given that my parents are quite strict, I believe they might also choose to sever ties with her. But that's their decision to make. I prefer not to get involved in that aspect as I don't want to create any additional problems. The message, same day. Thank you so much for all the kind comments you left me. Many of you reached out with tips for The Sims, and I am truly grateful. I also appreciate the game recommendations, even though I'm not very good at playing action games. The last action game I played was Resident Evil 4 on the PS2 a long time ago, and that was only because I had a crush on Leon Kennedy. He would never cheat on me, by the way. As a token of appreciation, and because I also enjoy it when the original poster shares all the gossip, I will share half of the message I sent to my sister. The message I sent her was quite long, and I have cut out the parts where I discuss very private matters or where I insulted her to avoid making this post too uncomfortable. I was really hurt and angry at that moment, and I talked about many personal things in the text. For those who speak Spanish, I will include a copy of the message at the end. I'm sorry if it sounds awkward in English. I did my best to translate it and had to remove many parts. I'm not interested in hearing any of your excuses. I believed you when you had a problem with your ex-friend group because I truly trusted that you would never do something like that. But now I understand why everyone leaves you alone and you deserve it. What you did to me is terrible, and you know it. But you didn't care because you spent a year being X's name's mistress without any shame. Now that I've found out everything, you've gone days without talking to me because you're a coward. On top of that, you still don't care about what you did to me. You're only talking to me because Dad probably stopped speaking to you and you're running out of money. So you want to fix this mess so he gives you money again. You were always a jerk, but don't you think it's too much to be my boyfriend's other woman? How little respect do you have for yourself? We're sisters. I can't even understand what's going on in your head because I don't understand what's wrong with you. Girl, I read all the messages between you two, and you even started comparing our bodies. You're sick. You know that I never did anything to deserve this from you, and I loved you. But everything turned out great for you because he's with you now, so enjoy that feeling and the love you two have for each other for now. Because later, you're going to be really lonely and you'll go back to your cave. But this time, I won't be there to pity you like I did every time before. Stay with him. There's nothing that interests me less than fighting for an idiot who is surely going to leave you. But let me make it clear. You're not going to hear from me again. This ends here. We are not sisters anymore. If I see you on the street, I'll cross to the opposite sidewalk just to avoid seeing you. Update, 3 months later. They broke up and nobody's surprised. When all of this happened, my parents scolded my sister and she got offended and didn't speak to our parents except to ask them for money. She claimed she needed the money to buy things for her career. But then my aunt told my parents that my sister actually used that money to buy my ex some sneakers. From that day on, my parents never gave her any more money. Honestly, she's an idiot. My parents started paying for us to attend a private college, and the only thing we have to do is literally study. The only thing my sister had to do was take her studies seriously, but she didn't. Eventually, my father got tired of it and hasn't sent her money for months. My ex discovered the post because he said it went viral on Facebook, and obviously he recognized the story. He contacted me to apologize and admitted he knew he did wrong by hurting me like that, but he claimed my sister manipulated him and that it was a total mistake. I told him he could shove his apologies where the sun doesn't shine. Meanwhile, my sister and I have only crossed paths a few times, but she always avoids me because she thinks I'm going to hit her. I won't. We're not in the same program, so luckily we don't see each other too much. Anyway, a few days ago, she went to our parents' house saying that she broke up with my ex, I don't know why, and that she felt really sad and had an anxiety attack. I don't know exactly what they talked about since I wasn't there, but my mother told me that she told my sister she knew what was going to happen when she slept with him. My sister justified herself by saying that they're in love. So my mother and her just argued again, and my sister left. Now she doesn't talk to anyone in the family except our grandmother to ask for money. I know my sister is not going to change her bad habits and didn't learn anything from this. I even think she will get together with my ex again because they're just toxic with each other, but it's her life to ruin, not mine, and I don't care anymore. The bright side, I sold the PC to a guy from Reddit who saw my post, and that really saved me from having to keep paying the dues. Unfortunately, I didn't get to play The Sims much, but I prefer the extra money. My ex had told me that he wanted the PC back, but I told him that he should pay the remaining dues then. He said no, so the idiot wanted the PC for free even though he slept with my sister. I know it's a boring update, and probably everyone wanted the update to be about my sister begging for forgiveness and my ex suffering, but no. They are just two idiots who deserve each other and nothing more happened. But even today I received a message asking me for an update. Ha ha. Okay, next story. My husband tried shrooms once, and now I'm uncertain about the future of our marriage. I believed we had the best marriage. I thought we were the lucky ones. It wasn't perfect, but it was really, really great. I never worried about other women because I believed that what we had was strong enough that other people didn't matter. He is very cute, and cute women have flirted with him right in front of me before. But it didn't bother me because I knew that his heart was with me. 3 months ago, he tried shrooms. He loved the experience and said it changed his life. He mentioned that he now understands everything in the universe is exactly how it's supposed to be. Everything is going to be okay and nothing matters. He told me he could see me in a way he had never seen me before. We cried together on the couch, and he sent love beams into my heart. I thought we were growing closer. Since then, he has been talking about how much more he loves everyone he interacts with daily, his friends, his difficult co-workers. It all sounded platonic to me, and I assumed his love for me was still special and unique. However, he now has a crush on someone else. While I understand that crushes can happen, I would be lying if I said I never had crushes. He is intentionally seeking out opportunities to interact with this person. I told him that this felt a little disrespectful towards me and our marriage. I asked him if it was a good idea to put himself in a position where he could continue developing feelings for someone else. He agreed it wasn't, but I noticed he wasn't reassuring me during this conversation. He didn't tell me that his crush didn't matter because his love for me dwarfs how he feels about this other person. I thought it was strange that he didn't say anything like that, so I asked him about it the next day. He said to me, "I'm not going to lie to you and tell you that you're irreplaceable and that you have nothing to worry about." The man I married would have never said this to me. We've been discussing this over the past few days. He tells me he's not attached to me because he's not attached to anything anymore, and that that's not a bad thing. He chooses to be with me but isn't dependent on me for his happiness. It seems to me that he doesn't value our marriage anymore because his love for everyone in the world has grown so much that his love for me is no longer unique or special to him. I asked him, "Do you want to not be with me anymore so you can go out and love the world?" He took several seconds to answer. My heart completely shattered waiting for his response because I never would have expected this to be a difficult question for him. Eventually he answered, "I don't think so." I was devastated during this conversation and he showed no emotion. The man I married would not have been able to see me in that much pain without having an emotional response. He's going to start seeing a therapist, but I'm just completely lost and don't know what to do. I can't believe my marriage is falling apart because of a 2G shroom trip. I can't seem to connect with him or get through to him. I don't understand why he doesn't seem to care. I guess I'm fishing for advice and wondering if anyone has similar experiences. I'm hoping someone will tell me that the effects will fade over time and I will eventually get my husband back. I've read so many accounts of shroom experiences and have never heard of something like this happening to anyone else. I've seen accounts of people falling deeper into love and devotion to their spouses, but the opposite is happening to me. I'm just extremely sad and don't know what to do. Update. I showed the original thread to him last night and it completely broke his brain, in the best way. You all were able to reach him from a place of understanding that I didn't have access to, and for that, I am incredibly grateful. He read every comment, at the time, and then as soon as we made eye contact, tears started streaming down his face. This was the first time he cried since his trip. The moment I saw him crying, I knew we would be okay. We had this big, sudden moment of, "Oh, there you are, welcome home." We hugged and cried together. I really think the issue was integration. I mentioned his optimism in the comments, which leads to him doing things like trying drugs without any preparation or research first. He just wasn't familiar with the concept of integration and wasn't prepared for how big of a deal this turned out to be. As many of you said, he was lost in the sauce. I loved this phrase. It really seems like he very suddenly snapped out of something last night. Over the past 3 months, he has talked about being able to access something that never went away after his trip. Last night was the first time he said he couldn't access it. He laughed and said that he felt like he just came down from a 3-month trip. We covered all of the concerns I expressed in my post that I could think of. Does he want to be poly? No. Does he feel attached to me now? Yes. Would he be upset if I died or left him? Yes. Does he see me as replaceable? No. Is he confident that he wants to be with me? Yes. Does he understand and value the concept of family? Yes. I didn't write about this one in the post, but it was another thing we weren't able to see eye to eye on. He also shared that his crush feels like nothing to him now and apologized 1,000 times for everything. The shrooms definitely revealed some underlying issues in our marriage, but I don't think it's quite what a lot of comments suggested, that he has always wanted to open our marriage. We discussed last night that he has some unmet needs that he hasn't been communicating to me because I'm autistic, and he usually treats me like I'm very delicate, despite how he came across in the post. We are going to continue working through this piece. I'm just very thankful to have something we can work through. For those saying that I just need to do shrooms, and then I will understand and everything will be fixed, I have done more shrooms than he has. That was never the problem. For those commenting on the dosage, 2G, it was Lemon Tech. I experienced for myself a few weeks ago what a massive impact this has on intensity. For those thinking it's a manic episode, he does not have a history of depression at all. He'll still mention this to his therapist, but I think it's unlikely. We have some new fun things on the table to work on, but I really feel like I have my husband and best friend back. And he looks at me with googly eyes again. Thank you, thank you, thank you to everyone who took the time out of their day to write out thoughtful comments. How do you like these stories? Write your opinion in the comments. Let's get 1,000 subscribers on this channel. Love you.